Today, in order to wrap up, I would like to speak to something that I have been meaning to speak to for a few weeks, but it has not been the weather to necessarily follow through with that. Over the last few years, we have done a project where we have shared stories from Americans who were born into slavery. And a few weeks ago, towards the beginning of February, I introduced someone who wrote an entire book about his life and about what he went through and his opinions and thoughts on it, and how it can shed light on parts of the experience that we don't even think about, even after for so long being here and learning that it's important to consider these things. And moving out of Black History Month, I think it's really important to remind ourselves how much more there is to learn, where even though we are putting more focus on it than ever before, we are never going to be finished with this process, not only because there's more to learn, but because there's important things to learn, because there's so much to be gained from understanding American history in its wider context through people who not only do we not talk about enough, but we don't talk about the ways they saw the world and their experiences enough. And to make that point, I would like to end today by sharing two excerpts from his book that speak to parts of the experience of being born into slavery that I don't think we ever talk about, or at least I have not traditionally thought about. First, I want to talk about the idea of feeling alone. I then went, this is a quote, I then went very near to the boat landing, to a certain alley where some sugar casks, and stowed myself away there, like a fox when the hounds are after him, and my heart appeared to be up in my throat. I had never told anybody about the circumstances under which I was placed, and the danger I was in, speaking to the fact that he was an escaped slave, and was on the run as an escaped slave. Consequently, I had no one to console me, or no friends to help rescue me. But when the bell was ringing and I saw a chance to flee from danger, I ran and leaped aboard the boat, and I was soon on my way to Trenton. But yet I still felt alarmed. The feelings of loneliness are not a feeling I tend to associate with these experiences, but it is clearly part of them. Later on, he speaks to personal expression. I shall now pen a few lines of poetry. Although it is not refined, I hope you will look upon it as coming from a person that never had the privileges of education. Being born a slave, all I can do is to venture. Slavery, thou cruel curse, tolerated more than 200 years, corrupted by moral laws, supported by kings and emperors. Thou forced 1,000 tears from mothers and fathers dear, while hearts melt from fear. Hell is thy only peer. You flourished long enough to cultivate the coin. Farewell, old master, your loss is our gain. None but the free can enjoy themselves aright. None but the free can serve the Lord indeed. Slavery hath made a code, a bridge to the Fremen's law. Reject the black, respect the white. This was always slavery's code. Taney in his decision confirmed this mode. His cruel decision supported slavery's code. My languishing body is finally at rest. Achings and pains are over. To be free is to be blessed. Slavery, thou art no more. Your clinking chains are hushed. You cannot wear our lives away. Toiling in cotton and cane bush, freedom now has her sway. Thank you so much for being here this week.